What's good, NMKBH Nation, man? Thank you guys for tuning in to another NMKBH Talk, man. We really appreciate you guys for watching these, and we really hope that you're getting stuff out of this, making you jump into your Bible and read stuff for your own, on your own, and grow with Jesus in your own personal relationship, and then that can spread out to others within your influence, man. So we really do appreciate y'all. We love y'all. My brother Tyus with me again today. These past couple episodes, we've been talking about David, and we've been talking about how good he was, how he had a heart after God's own, and we want to be clear that David ain't Jesus, though. He wasn't perfect. Even though I love David, and he's one of my favorite people to study in the Bible, he wasn't perfect. He was like you and me, man. He's a sinner saved by Jesus. So the story that we're going to tell today comes from 2 Samuel. And the whole story is chapters 11 through 12. Yeah, the whole story is 11 through 12. But I'm going to tell you a lot of the story, and then I'm going to hop in and read some verses. And then me and Ty is going to just discuss it, what it means to us. So to start off, David was, he's king. He's king at this time, and he was just chilling on his roof, walking around his roof, not doing nothing crazy. And then he's just looking out on the city, and he sees this beautiful woman taking a bath, and he's like, "Yo, who that?" He sends people over there to go check her out, and he finds out who she is, and her husband is in the army, so he's like, okay, send for her, bring her to my house, and she come, and he do the do. And then she goes back home, and he ends up finding out that she's pregnant. So immediately, he calls the husband, and it's like, tell him to come home. So the husband comes home, and David talks to him and all this. And after they get done talking, he's like, "All right, go home to your wife," because David got a master plan, man. Like he over there, he done said,
"Go home to your wife. She wanting you. She waiting for you. Go home to your wife."
And he gonna try to trick him into sleeping with her so that he think it's his baby and not his, But her husband was a good man, He was like, I can't go home and sleep with my wife when all my men are still fighting a battle and they sleeping in tents and in the field. So I'm gonna sleep with your guards down here until I send back. So David's like, okay, if that's how you gonna be. So he stayed, and the next day David's sitting back, and when he's going back, David sends a letter, and he's like, put him in the front lines to fight whenever he gets back there. So he's in the front line, and when you're in the front line of a battle, your chances of survival are low.
But then he said when he's in the front line, when they start fighting, back up real quick.
And didn't tell him. Like,
rather be in the front line fighting, and then you turn around and everybody back there watching you. Where y'all go?
Like, he did all that because of his sin. Got so distracted that he killed a man, one of his own people, just to try to cover it up, I guess, just stuff like that, And so that happened. And it's just like the first thing that always pops in my mind when I'm reading that story is Bathsheba had to be an amazing woman, had to be so beautiful, like Beyonce, had to be so beautiful that the king was like, I gotta kill one of my own men so that I can have her.
David wasn't a bad guy.
Man, I told you, God said he had a heart after his own, and he still got distracted. And then he got so distracted, he's not even realizing that he's really done anything wrong. Yeah, he made Bathsheba his wife, and she had the baby, and God is very unhappy. God is very unhappy with David. So he sends Nathan to go talk to David, and Nathan tells David this story. And it's a story that's exactly like what David had just done. And David was like, yo, whoever did that gotta die. He's in the wrong. And Nathan was like, bro, that was you. And he was like, dang, that was me. He ain't fighting. He was just like, man, I sinned against God. I'm sorry. Like, that's what it was, man. And that just made me think, like, you know, that saying, we'll be quick to see the speck in someone's eye when we got a log on our own. Like, he was ready saying, dude needs to die. And it was like, dude, this story is reflecting to you. Like, this is what you just did. So, as his punishment, God, the baby that was born from that had died. And God made it sick. So like for the 7, oh wait, that's what I'm supposed to be reading. Let me read. This is the part I'm gonna read. So this is chapter 12, and this is verse 13. It says, then David confessed to Nathan, I have sinned against the Lord. Nathan replied, yes, but the Lord has forgiven you, and you won't die for this sin. Nevertheless, because you have shown utter contempt for the word of the Lord by doing this, your child will die. After Nathan returned to his home, the Lord sent a deadly illness to the child of David and Uriah's wife. David begged God to spare the child. He went without food and lay all night on the bare ground. The elders of his household pleaded with him to get up and eat with them, but he refused. Then on the 7th day, the child died. David's advisors were afraid to tell him. He wouldn't listen to reason why the child was ill, they said. What drastic thing will he do when we tell him the child is dead? When David saw them whispering, he realized what had happened. Is the child dead? He asked. Yes, they replied. He is dead. Then David got up from the ground, washed himself up, put on lotions, and changed his clothes. He went to the tabernacle and worshipped the Lord. After that, he turned to the palace and was served food and ate. That is just so powerful to me, because, you know, we can get caught up in whenever things don't go our way, we can be like, curse God, and like, you didn't have to take my son, I messed up, and you can start saying all this and that. But David wasn't like that, you know. He whenever his son was alive, he fasted in hopes of God would change his mind and spare his son. But when he didn't, he got up and worshiped God, man. Worshiped him anyways. Because it's not a conditional love. Loving God He loves us unconditional, and we have to love him back unconditional. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Right. It's hard to worship God and praise God when stuff's going bad, but you gotta praise him in the bad and the good, not just the good. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
and that's what we was talking about. Like with the win at Goliath, we was talking about how he could have easily reflected some of that glory back to him. And he didn't do that. He gave it all back to God. And then today, like, what we really got to realize is whenever the distractions come and we slip up, because we're not perfect. We're not going to be perfect. They're all going to be slip-ups, and we're going to have to pay for some of them slip-ups. And when we do, are we going to get up, and are we still going to be praising God for everything that he's done and continue to do? You know, Jesus dying for us is so big that if he never blessed us with anything else in the whole wide world, that's enough. That is enough to praise his name every second of every day, you know. So we just really have to be conscious and always thinking like, yes, things hurt. Like, we're humans, we have feelings. That's why, you know, he was crying and he wasn't eating because he was sick, thinking that his child was going to die. But the moment the child did die, he was like, yo, God, all the glory still goes to you. And I will praise you just as much as I was yesterday and years ago and forevermore. I'm going to keep praising you like that. And his servants were confused. It was like, what is it with you? The baby was
just sick, like, and now he died. Why is you still praising God?
I'm telling you, it's a different kind of love that you got. It's that heart, man. That's why God can say David had a heart like his. Because even though David wasn't perfect, he's seen the bigger picture. And another big point that I've seen out of that is, are we strong enough when we're going through those tough times to be the David in the situation? Whenever people are worried and they don't know how we're going to respond to negative things that are going on in our lives, can we be Davids and praise the Lord? That have people around us, the servants in this story, and then our friends and people that just look at us, are they going to look at us and be like, man, he praises the Lord through the good and the bad. Like, no matter the circumstance, he's praising the Lord. And that's somewhere that we really got to be, because that's when you can really start changing stuff, because people are watching you. People are watching what you do all the time, regardless if you know it or not. So whenever things are great, they see you praising God, they're like, yeah, we expect you to do that. Now when things are down bad and you still praising God, you still winning strong and all that, that's when people are going to be like, let me try out this God that you be talking about. Because when things go my way, I'm down in the dumps, I'm not really feeling like anything, I'm getting lazy, I'm not trying to do nothing. But when you got God on your side, man, you still feel all that, but it doesn't feel the same. You know, God just fills you with what you need to get you through, as long as you keep worshiping him through all the struggles.
That's facts, man. I was just talking about this the other day, like, just in today's time, like, we're going through all this corona stuff and people dying out here and everything shut down, distancing and all that other good stuff. Like, it's a bad time right now. But even in this bad time, God is still good. He is so great to us. Like you said, man, if he doesn't do anything else for you, like if you die today, if he doesn't do anything else for you, he's still done more than you deserve.
More than enough.
More than enough.
And that's just something we always just gotta be conscientious of and grateful for, because even though he's already done way more than enough, he continues to still do more for us, because that's how much he loves us. And I mean, who doesn't want to serve a God like that? So that's why us as Jesus followers, we have to live a life that shows that in good or bad times, we're still good because God has us and we're in his hands. That's what we got to show to the people that might not know who Jesus is, so then they can be like, man, I really want to know who Jesus is because I want that. And people are looking for it. Everybody has everyone has a hole in their heart that only God can fill. And it's up to us just to show them why God's the one to fill it, man. God's going to be the one to change the heart. And we can't change people, but we can show people why they need to change, as long as we're reflecting it all back to God, never trying to take that credit for us, man. Well, man, that's another episode of NMKBH Talk. I really hope walking away with this, go back, read the whole story for yourself, because I gave you some paraphrasing stuff, but it's really good for you to go read it for yourself, because like we said, I love David. And in the past 2 weeks, we've been talking about how good he was, reflecting everything back to God through all his wins. And then today, showing you that even in his losses, he still was praising God. And that's what we all ultimately want to be, man. NMKBH, we love y'all. I'm excited to tell y'all we got some new design shirts coming on the way, man. I cannot wait for them to release, so be on the lookout because it's very soon. Man, we love y'all, appreciate y'all, enjoy y'all's families. NMKBH, out.